Welcome to the Museum of Light located near the Boeing field in Seattle. Today we're making a journey through the largest private air and space museum. First we're gonna start with Space Gallery. Our first stop is the NASA Full Fuselage Trainer. This life-size model of the Space Shuttle was used to train every astronaut for shuttle missions. This metal model of the Space Shuttle used in the wind tunnels. This is the WWII engine core. The outside of Space Shuttle covered with thermotiles that resist the high temperature when Space Shuttle is landing. This is Soyuz TMA-14 Descent Module, which carried Astronaut back to Earth in 2009. Through this window that is not exit place, we can see inside the Soyuz. This is window used for reserve parachute. And this is Russian pressure suit Sokol, it's like Falcon, used by Ed Lu. Here the Space Shuttle's orbital maneuver system engine, which helped adjust its orbit. And this is a schema of location of that engines. This type of escape suit used in space shuttle missions. This flight helm used by George Pinky Nelson, that famous for spacewalk for satellite repair. We're getting inside the NASA Full Fuselage Trainer. These photos from process of the building this trainer model. Some part of this trainer moved by Super Goopy, NASA Boeing 747-133, and you can see that plane in Pima Museum in Tucson. The video is on my YouTube channel. This is the Canada arm, used for deploying and repairing satellites like the Hubble Telescope. It was one of the shuttle's most versatile tools. The museum also has a scaled model of the Hubble Telescope. A quick look to the Space Shuttle external air block. It allows to enter and exit the Space Shuttle in space. The Space Shuttle and its boosters in assemble. Spaceship One model. Sojourner is the first Mars rover And also this is the first robotic rover to operate on another planet. Later we'll have Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity and Perseverance Mars rovers. This flysuit worn by Dick Scobie prior to Challenger disaster in 1986. And this flysuit worn by Michael Anderson before Space Shuttle Columbia disaster in 2003. We slowly move into the aviation section of the museum, and you can see detailed map with all aircrafts in the museum, and you can pause and see what aircraft we're gonna see. The Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress is renowned for its crucial role in World War II as durable, heavy armor bomber. Also famous for its survivability and iconic missions, and also became a symbol of American air power and resilience. The Concorde is famous for being the world's first supersonic passenger jet, capable of flying at twice the speed of sound, reduced transatlantic flight times to under 3.5 hours, known for its sleek design, technological innovation and luxury service. It became an icon of elite air travel between 1976 and 2003. The small tail wheel need to prevent the tail from streaking the runway.
500 kilometers per hour. Last flight was in 2003. This one made the second latest flight when it landed here in Boeing Field before we acquired it. I mean, when we brought it here. Yeah. So it's not flying anymore, but it's a beautiful design, right? And probably one of the most iconic designs of aircraft all over. Just a minute and I'll let you go. So think about you are flying from New York to UK and you are getting in the Concorde and paying $25,000 for a two-way ticket. So at least you get caviar and champagne, you know? Once they are gone there, I will let you go. But that's the price of how much it would cost today if it was still flying and under operations. Yeah. $25,000, not bad, right? But 3 hours and a half, it's fast.
Welcome aboard to Concorde. This museum Concorde has a lot of restrict zones and we cannot see the cockpit in details. I will include the photos from another Concorde that's located in New York so we can see more. Actually, this is Concorde from New York. The Concorde sees that in Seattle, located behind a fiberglass. From the Concorde we can see many blue seaplanes. B-17, B-29 Stratofortress, Douglas DC-2, and Presidential VC-137B Air Force One, used by President Nixon and Johnson. You can scan QR code to see detailed 3D tour. Let's see what's inside the presidential plane. Flight deck, Communication Center for President, Galley or kitchen for President and crew, Presidential suite, and this is a passenger compartment. From Air Force One we can see Boeing 247D. As we near to Boeing factory, we will see many plane prototypes. For example, this is Boeing 787 prototype, and this is 747 prototype. We are staying near B-29 Stratofortress, and this plane used during World War II in Pacific Theater. Later it been converted to KV-29 tanker. Tail gunner. Now we're moving to Boeing 787 Dreamliner prototype. And here QR code that you can scan and see detailed 3D tour. These big Rolls-Royce turbofan engines, you can see how big it is if you compare it to human. This is a prototype, and maybe this is one of the first Boeing 787 ever created. Right near to 787 we can see Boeing 737 prototype. Later it been converted to plane for Langley Research Center and used by NASA. Boeing 747 Jumbo Jet, and it is also prototype. Maybe it's one of the first Boeing 747 they created, and you can see a couple seconds ago the QR code. You can scan and see detailed 3D tour, but in the meantime we can go inside it and see what's in this plane. Every 747 has these stairs to go into flight deck, and in the meantime this is closed in the museum plane. You can see this developing this infrastructure, so sensors or some special mechanism that used during development for this gigantic plane. This device called static cone mechanism. It used to measure a true speed during the flight. And this is a refueling mechanism. It'd been modified in early 70s. And yeah, the 747 could be used as a refueling tanker. From 747 we can see the small green plane. This is Soviet Antonov N2. And this plane also using for skydiving. You can see the video on my channel when I jump in with parachute from this plane. CH-47D Chinook. This plane named the Old Lady, the oldest flyable Chinook in the US Army worldwide. Grumman F-14A Tomcat, famous by Top Gun movie in 1986, typically used on aircraft carriers. McDonnell Douglas AV-8C Harrier, also famous by True Lie movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Give us total cooperation. Hey Harry, do you realize that it has in fact been 10 years since you've been behind the wheel of one of these things?
If I break it, they can take it out of my pay.
Harry, listen, don't worry about it. We got a guy on the inside, Harry. We might want to seek shelter!
Sorry!
And we are moving to Vietnam Veterans Memorial Park. This is a B-52 bomber. Next we need to cross the bridge to see J. Elroy McCall Personal Courage Wing. We will see two floors, first floor dedicated to World War II and second for World War I. Moving to World War II section. We will see many planes that took part in World War II from various countries. This is British Supermarine Spitfire Mk.IX. This plane introduced in 1942 and designed to counter the advanced German Focke-Wulf FW-190. This German Messerschmitt Bf-109E3 is famous to be one of the most advanced and heavily used fighter aircraft during World War II. You can see Luftwaffe winter flight suit. this Luftwaffe pilot weapon. The Allison V7010 engine is famous for being the first liquid-cooled V-12 aircraft engine produced in the United States. North American P-51D Mustang. The ammunition located in the wings. Packard V6057 Merlin engine. We're moving close to Yakovlev Yak-9U, this famous Soviet fighter using during World War II and widely used on Eastern Front. This Soviet M40 VVS is like an Air Force pilot uniform. This is Republic P-47D Thunderbolt. We're moving to another famous plane, is a Goodyear FG-1D Corsair. It became legendary for its success in carrier-based operations in the Pacific Theater. We also get a chance to get a close look to its engine, Pratt & Whitney R2800. And this is audio recording of how it works. Jeep Willys is famous for being the workhorse vehicle of the Allied forces during World War II. Japanese Nakajima Ki-43-2 Hayabusa, nicknamed Oscar by Allied forces. American Curtiss P-40N Warhawk. We made a round on the first floor and slowly moving to the second floor to see World War I exhibits. Nice future World War II planes from top. First we can see the Caproni CA-20, the world's first fighter plane ever created. There are interesting facts that first pilots were people from cavalry. This British Sopwith triplane is famous for being one of the most innovative and maneuverable fighter aircraft of World War I. A Royal Aircraft Factory SE-5A. The Albatros DVA is famous for being one of the most widely used German fighter aircraft during World War I. Newport Type 24Bs from French Air Forces. Aviatic DI is a fighter from Austro-Hungarian Empire. Plane engines from World War I era. And also you can see the World War I trench. World War I also called a trench war, and you can see the tutorials how to build a trench. It's also the soldier gas mask from that time. After World War I gallery, we move into the Great Gallery with much more planes. And this is a Boeing B and W replica. This is not SR-71, this is Lockheed M21. And yes, these two planes are both from Blackbird family, and the M21 designed specifically for launch and deploy D-21 drone. We are moving to small space exhibit. You can see Mercury module and also Resource Descent Module. This is Soviet Sk-1 Vostok spacesuit. The same type of suits used by Yuri Gagarin during his flight. Sputnik 1 engineering module. and this model of American rockets was including Saturn V. And we move into Apollo exhibits. This Apollo spacesuit belonged to John W. Young. He was the 9th person to walk on the moon as the commander of Apollo 16 mission in 1972. This is a Common Module 007A. This is a mothership for lunar missions 1968 to 1972. Rocketdyne F1 engine from Saturn V. There are 5 of them on the rocket. And this is F1 engine components from Saturn V used in Apollo 12. These components rescued from the Atlantic Ocean floor deeper than Titanic. And this is a lunar vehicle.
Hey, that was a good stop. Those wheels just locked. Mark off. Okay. Okay. Mark on. Those hold. They want 4 minutes worth, John.
We're moving out from Apollo Gallery to Great Gallery. Fusilier FY-103 is better known as F-1 flying bomb. It's famous for being the world's first Operation cruise missile. From the tower you can see the Boeing airfield. This Soviet Mk.IX engraved MiG-21 used by Chinese Army during Cold War era. The Bell UH-1H Aircraft, widely known as Huey, is famous for being one of the most iconic and versatile helicopters in history, particularly during the Vietnam War. And this special device used for rescue people from the jungle. And at the end of the video, we will go to explore the birthplace of the Boeing company. Its original manufacturing plant includes the rare artifacts, a factory workshop, and exhibits. This place is called Red Barn. Maybe you can guess why. Interesting fact that by 1970s the Red Barn was abandoned and scheduled for demolition. In the 1975, the Port of Seattle sold the building to the Museum of Flight for $1 to save it. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through the Museum of Flight in Seattle. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share and comment, and also subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this. And see you next time.